speaking English sometimes can be difficult for most of you who are here with me, and also understanding people speak as English is their native language and probably not yours. There are some key elements that I would like to address in today's class. The first key issue of understanding fast speakers is rhythm. The second key issue that we're going to tackle today is people that speak too fast. So, you know, generally natives, if you're traveling and you go to the airport, or if you're going for an interview, or if you're traveling to an English-speaking country, sometimes you find it very difficult to understand what these native speakers are saying, because some of them speak very fast, and I know, and they are not going to slow down just because you're traveling to their country, or just because you feel that they should slow down for you. So they're not going to slow down by any means whatsoever. So you need to, you know, raise up your level, raise up your game, so that you're able to understand people who speak slow and people who speak fast. We are also going to look at contracted sounds, which is another important aspect of English language. So you wanna, gonna, I've, I'm, all these aspects which are related to contracted sounds. And finally, we'll be looking at vocabulary. So how does vocabulary affect the way you speak? How does vocabulary impact in the way that you listen to English and in the way that you understand English language? And finally, understanding. We're going to look at the issue of understanding. How can you understand native speakers or people who speak too fast in a way that you're able to grasp the different words and the sentences and the phrases that they are using? Okay, so that's what we're going to cover today in this class. Okay, so rhythm. The first step that we're going to look at is rhythm. Now, there are different values in rhythm, right? So what is rhythm? Rhythm is the combination of a variety of different senses and values. What type of values am I talking about? So for example, if we think about traditional rhythm, like in music rhythm, where we have a 4x4 or a 2x2 or a 3x3 or a 4x7, we have a kind of a tempo that goes towards that song. So if it's a fast tempo, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba-da, 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 right? So that will be a fast rhythm. Or there will be a slow rhythm with 1, 2, 3, 4. So these different values, that's what rhythm is. And rhythm is a huge element in language learning. Extremely important, not very well looked after by many educational teachers, not looked into as a key pillar of how well you can speak or how badly you can speak, okay? And so I want to give you some examples of rhythm. And the first example I want to share with you is the taga, daga, 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 da, and how this affects the way you create a sentence. So let's take a look at it. So if I said taga, daga, da, I traveled to Spain. Taga, daga, 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 da, I traveled to Spain today. Can you see how rhythm affects the way that I pronounce this phrase or this sentence? So taga, daga, 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 da, I traveled to Spain today. Again, taga, daga, 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 da, I traveled to Spain today. Taga, daga, 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 da, I traveled to Spain today. Can you see? So I'm changing the articulation, and I can change the rhythm accordingly to the articulation. And you will see that if I speak slow, the articulation and the emphasis and the stress will be on different words. So for example, I'll give you an example. Taga, daga, da, I traveled to Spain. Taga, da, I traveled to Spain. Taga, da, I traveled to Spain. How does this affect the way you create sentences and the way you speak and the way you assimilate English? It's extremely, extremely important, because by understanding how these syllables are divided, by understanding where the high sounds and the low sounds, by understanding how speed and rhythm affects the way you talk to people, it will make a big difference in the way you improve your speaking skills. So this is the example that I'm using, which is the taga daga da, but you could use any other example. You could do any form of study. If you're at home, you could do the taka, 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 taka. I traveled to Spain today. I like music. Ataga da daga da daga da daga da da. I traveled to Spain today because I like it so much and I want to travel that way. Okay, see, so I've just created something from rhythm. I created a rhythm using any letters and whatever letters you want to use. Like I use tagadag, but you could use tugudu, tigidi, dagade, dagada, anything. But making sure that your brain is understanding the division in the articulation of that particular sentence that you're creating. That's imperative. So if I am to take these two sentences, which I put here on this slide as an example. So I have, I traveled to Spain. Taga da daga da da. I traveled to Spain today. Taga da daga da daga da. I traveled to Spain today. Okay. He watches TV with me. Taga da. He watches. Taga da. He watches. Taga daga da daga da. He watches TV with me. He watches TV with me. I'm going to speed it up. Taga da daga da daga da. He watches TV with me. Taga da daga da daga da. He watches TV with me. Taga da da daga da da. He watches TV with me. Taga da da daga da. He watches TV with me. So I can speed it up. I can slow it down. I would say initially you start with maybe just one word or maybe two words. He watches. So taga da da. He watches. Taga da da. Taga daga da. Taga daga da. He watches TV. Taga daga da. He watches TV. And gradually build the rhythm as you're going along with the study. And you could create lots of different sentences. These are just examples, okay? You could create loads of sentences, get them from the internet, on Google. You know, a sentence that maybe you find difficult to pronounce or something that you find difficult to actually say. Use the taga daga da example and create these sentences at varying tempos. So say it slow, say it fast, change the emphasis, change the stress. So taga, I tra, taga, he what? I taga da da, taga daga, he watches, he watches. You see, so this is an important aspect of rhythm that many people actually leave it behind. You see how powerful rhythm actually is. Because by understanding this and understanding how this affects the way you speak as a learner, as a student, will make a whole difference in the way that you improve English language in the future as you progress and evolve to more complex sentences and vocabulary. Okay. So second aspect that we want to look at is speaking too fast. So why do you find it difficult when someone says, oh, hi, I'm from downtown Detroit. I've been working in New York for about 5 years now, and I really like it. I really like working in New York. It's such a great city. My boss doesn't really like what I've been doing, but I've been working on a variety of different projects. That's very fast. So why is it that you cannot understand people when they speak so fast in English? First issue is your sound muscle memory, and that's something that you need to build. What is the sound muscle memory? The sound muscle memory is the ability to be able to recognize a sound, whether it's slow, whether it's fast, whether it's very slow, whether it's very fast. Like, for example, if I sing a song to you, I know that you'll be able to find it. You'll be able to identify what song it is because your sound muscle memory has been exercised properly. If I sing this song to you, happy birthday to you, you know it's happy birthday. What if I say, happy birthday to you, you know it. Why do you know it? Because your sound muscle memory recognizes and archives that sound. Even if I don't sing the words, da 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 da. Even if I don't sing the words, you already know the words to that song because your sound muscle memory has already internalized this sound. So it's the same thing with other words in English. So if I say to you, I am going to travel to Spain. He is an engineer. They are doctors. You need to internalize this, whether it's slow or fast. He's a doctor, right? Whether I say he is a doctor, whether I say he's a doctor, you need to internalize the different sounds. Okay, so how do you develop this skill? By practicing actively. What do I mean by practicing actively? Real life situations. There is a difference between studying and actually looking at real life situations. Studying is one process, and real life situations is a different process. What's the difference between the two, teacher? When you're learning something, we tend to be laborious. We tend to keep looking over and over and over that material. However, if we are actually practicing real life situations, we tend to look at things as they are. Like, for example, if I'm watching a film, I am actually seeing that film is speaking with a real tempo, fast, efficient, effective. So that's a real life situation. Why do most students find it difficult to understand English that's said in a film or in a song? Because you're always practicing your learning process rather than actually putting that into practice. How do you put that into practice? Watch a film with the subtitles, then take the subtitles out. See how much you understand of that information and try to listen to the sounds. Listen to the different sounds that they're using for that particular film. And then you'll be able to grasp a lot more context, a lot more information, a lot more value, a lot more than what you're actually getting from just learning. You know, the learner will be like, okay, the teacher will say, okay, repeat after me this sentence. I am going to school. He is working. Yeah, but that's not the real life. The real life will be he's working. It's a different sound. Can you hear the difference? Like, he is working. Real life. He's working. Look, it's like me playing da gra, da gra. Real life, da gra. Studying da gra. Okay, so that's why it's important for you to practice with real life content. Real life content is essential to your progress, to learning these different sounds and having the muscle memory when you are in a real life situation. So if you're in a job interview and the interviewer asks you, what have you been doing? Or whether he says, what have you been doing? You'll be able to understand whether he speaks slow, whether he speaks fast, whether he chops up the words. But you staying in just the learning mode, it's not going to get you the results that you're looking for. So you need to get into a mode of actually going real deep into this. And I'm going to teach you everything I know. Everything I know, I am going to teach you guys here. I'm going to teach you everything I know. Every class that I'm here, I am giving you my best. I'm giving you everything I can to all you guys. I don't care if there's one student here, if there's no students, or if there's 1 million students here. It doesn't make a difference. I will still give you my best. If there's only one person watching this, I'm still giving you my best because I think you deserve my best. And because you deserve my best, I am going to give you the best information, the best content I can, and I will deliver that to you. And this is essential information which I'm giving you, where I have 1,000 students, and 1,000 of these students, they are actually just on the learning mode, and they need to switch from the learning mode to the real life situation. That's one of the excessive, I can't reiterate how important that is. So real life situations is what's going to give you the muscle memory, the vocabulary, the strategy, the correct sound. And by practicing these things, you will be able to understand when people speak fast, slow, medium tempo. It doesn't matter how they speak. You will be able to understand them because you've trained your ear and your listening accordingly. Okay, let's move on. Oh, what's happened here? My system's just gone blank. Okay, so let's move on. Speak too fast. Here we are. Sorry, guys. Don't know what happened there. We're still here. All right. So examples that I had of speaking too fast. So you could start practicing this like this. I need to tell you about this. And gradually build the speed. I need to tell you about this. 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 It sounds like you're chewing words, but that's how it is. I need to tell you about this. So you start with, I need to tell you about this. 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 And you can change the articulations. I need to tell you about this. I need to tell you about this. I need to tell you about this. And you can break it up into chunks. I need to tell you about this. And then you can join them. I need to tell you. I need to tell you. I need to tell you. I need to tell you about this. I need to tell you. And then you can join all the three. I need to tell you about this. 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 Next one. Format sound articulations. Yeah, so like I said, break them up into chunks. 3 chunks, 4 chunks, 5 chunks. How many other chunks you need? And then join the sounds gradually together. Yeah, that's going to give you some wicked insights into sound articulations. And change the speaking tempo as you progress. So, you know, we started with, I need to tell you about this. I need to tell, I need to tell you, I need to tell you about, I need to tell you about this. And then you can join it all together. Whichever way you find and feel more comfortable doing this exercise will really, really, really help you. Okay. Contracted form, another big element, very similar to speaking too fast, but a little bit different than speaking fast. So the contracted form is, you know, your wannnas and your gonnas and I've, and instead of I have. So, you know, in English language, when you see it in real life, the sound is completely different from I have to I've. Look at the difference. I have, contracted. I've. I have, I've. There's a big difference there in sound. So the sound is completely different in contracted form. I want to study French. I wanna. I want to. I wanna. Can you see the difference? There's a whole different, and I don't want you to understand the contracted form. I want you to understand the sound of the contracted form, which is the important aspect to developing your speaking ability. So you're not really concentrating on the actual contracted form. You should be concentrating on the sound of a contracted form, which is completely different to, you know, the natural form or the base form. That's the first thing. So the first thing to know on contracted form is that the sound is different. Second thing is the idiomatic expressions and slangs. So as you know, music, especially songs, hip hop and so many other cultures, they use a lot of slangs. Now, slangs are informal words that some of them you might not be familiar with. Like if I said to you crib, or, you know, which means house. Or if I said to you, I'm going to my gaff, which again means house. These are slangs, particularly from the UK, some of these, and idiomatic expressions as well. So these are also regarded in some sense as contracted forms, because they'll generally come into a sentence where they will be sort of thrown in the sentence somewhere where you need to figure out what that means. And so that's another important aspect for you to take into account. The idiomatic expressions and slangs, they happen naturally as you actually will see them in everyday language as well. That's generally everyday language. So what is the process of you improving your, you know, and understanding the sounds of contracted form? Well, it's an aspect of familiarization. So familiarizing yourself with contracted forms. So if you don't know any contracted forms, what do you need to do? You need to find out at least the common ones or the everyday ones. You need to go out on Google and type in contracted forms and start practicing them. Because there's no better way of you practicing speaking than actually speaking. You need to speak in order to become a good speaker. you need to listen to become a good listener. You need to read to become a good reader. You need to write to become a good writer. And so familiarizing yourself with these sounds will help you to understand how these sounds are connected and how these sounds are structured. And that's going to give you a good insight as to how you are able to actually, pronounce these words, pronounce these sounds. And that will give you a lot of strong key foundation to improving your understanding of contracted sounds in sentence. By the way, like I said, this is all about in sentence. None of the stuff that I am going through here with you is about you learning something just by itself. No, this is all contextualized language. I teach contextualized English language, which means, what does that mean, teacher? It means that you learn language through connection with sounds, connection with pronunciation, repetition, building your confidence, breaking your shyness or your fears to actually make errors. So that's what I am all about, right? I'm all about bringing this value to you, and this is free of charge. I do these classes for free, whether there's one student or whether there's a million students. I do these classes once a week for free, and I don't charge you anything at all for these classes. And I do this because I love what I do, and I love to see you guys improve your language learning. Okay, next step. So I'm going to give you some examples of these. First example is wanna. I want to get a job. I want to get a new job. Wanna, I want to get a new job. So what is the abbreviation of wanna? I want to get a new job. But you would most of the time in spoken English, you would see I wanna get a new job. Is it formal or informal? It's informal. Yeah, it's actually informal language, and it tends to be generally used, sort of on everyday language. So people that use that on everyday language, as opposed to using it in a formal environment. Okay. Second example, I've gotta start the meeting. I've gotta. So we got two contractions there. We have I've, which is I have, and we have gotta, which is got to. So I have got to start the meeting. So I've got to start the meeting. But can you see, again, this is another example which you've probably seen I've quite often, which is a contracted form of I have. And this is very common, both informally and formally in a lot of spoken English. Gotta, again, is an informal way, but you will still see it. People use it. People use it constantly, and people use it all the time. All the time. And finally, he's gonna sort it out for you. Again, he's contracted form of he is gonna, going to sort it out for you. So if I was to say that at the base form, he is going to sort it out for you. By the way, for those of you that don't know what sort it out is, it means resolve. Sort it out, resolve. It's a phrasal verb, resolve. Okay, find a solution. Yeah. He's gonna sort it out for you. But listen to the sound. He's going to sort it out for you. Now check the contracted form. He's gonna sort it out for you. There's a whole... It seems like I said something else. So going back to what I was saying previously, in terms of you familiarizing yourself with these, it's very important. Because if you hear this in a real life situation, as we go back to our presentation, it's going to make a whole difference in the way you connect with people. Okay, excellent. Let's move on. So vocabulary. Why is vocabulary so difficult to understand? Because sometimes words in context are different from their meaning isolated. What do I mean by that? For example, in Portuguese, if you say the word saudade, in English, it's I miss you. But I miss, which is the word miss, it doesn't have the same power as saudade in Portuguese language. There's a big difference there in gap. So when you put a word into context, or whether you translate the word or whatever you try to do with that word in context, it has a different impact than when you actually say it out loosely. So if I use the word saudade with miss, there's a whole difference there. It's huge. It's enormous. If I say to someone, I have saudade, it's very powerful. It's a very strong feeling. But if I say I miss you, it's not as powerful in English, if that makes any sense. Now, so words in context, they will help you so much, because you learning new words, is it important? Yes, it's important, but it's more important for you to take these words and put them into context. So rather than just learning words, you're actually learning these words in real life context, and how, and how these words actually impact you as a learner. It's incalculable. Like, for example, if I learn the word dictionary, okay, great, I've learned the word dictionary, but if I put that word into context, I was looking in the dictionary last week to find a new word. Now I've got something there. I've actually put that word dictionary into a context. So it's much easier and much more energetic and much more powerful for me to memorize that word rather than just learning that loose word. Also, images. Try to think about images all the time, because images speak to us, so if I put a picture of anything, I don't have a picture here of anything, but if I put a picture, okay, look, I have a little remote here, okay? That's a remote from one of my lights that I have here. If imagine this was a picture, what words would you come out with? Loads of words: colors, square, remote, energizer, battery, you might think slim. So lots of words come to your mind. Can you see how powerful images are? By looking at images, we're able to pick out words from things. If I look at my computer here, I'll be like computer, screen, mouse, keyboard, camera, square. See how many words my mind or my imagination has just managed to grasp just by looking at a picture or a image. So that's very important. Try to always have an image in your mind to generate more words, to create more vocabulary. And finally, don't translate. Wherever you're from, whether you're from India, Brazil, China, Japan, it doesn't matter where you're from. Don't translate to your mother tongue. Try to always go to the target language for comprehension. So for example, if I don't know the word remote control, I would go to the English dictionary, English, and find the word remote control. When I find the word remote control, I'm going to have a description of that word. And so on top of learning what remote control is, I've actually just had a description. So I've learned new words, I've learned a definition, and I've learned my target word. So it's very important that you don't translate to your mother tongue. Very important to stick to English. Trust me, this is a proven formula. I've been using this with students worldwide. And stick to the mother tongue of English. So stick to the target language, because you're probably non-English speakers. Stick to the target language, English, and always focus on that language. If you don't understand something and you have to, then go to your dictionary, like French English or Portuguese English or Indian English or whatever, or Hindi English. But if you don't, you will have a lot more benefits than if you actually do. It will be a lot more powerful for you to actually not translate than to try to translate something. Okay? Avoid translations if possible. Good, man. Okay, I don't know why this is happening. Okay, here we go. Sometimes my computer just goes blank, as you guys can see. Okay, here we go. So, examples of vocabulary in action. So let's take the word off, okay? Off. As you know, off has a variety of different meanings. Yeah? So off means basically to turn off. So if I take my phone and switch my phone off, or if I turn the TV off, or if I turn the fan off, or if I turn the computer off, or if I turn the microphone off, Okay, that's one of the meanings of off. The second meaning of off is when someone, in this case, in context. So if I was to take the word off by itself, you would see that it relates to a switch of some form, switching on, off, on, off. But when you put it into this context, the doctor is off today. That means that the doctor is not working. He's off. He's switched off. Can you switch a doctor off? No, of course you can't. But what does that mean? That means that the doctor is not working today. So can you see how the context has actually changed by me changing the word, using the same word that would have a different meaning by itself, but in context, it has a completely different meaning. Okay, important to note this. Mohammed took his driving test. Let's take test. Mohammed took his driving test. So by using test in this case here, I could resemble that and say a driving test, a theory test, a medical test, a pharmaceutical test, an English test, a university test. It could be any type of test. Okay, so that again, vocabulary in action, vocabulary in context. John's wife has changed her dog. Let's take the dog. Okay, so wife. Let's take the wife. John's wife has changed her dog. So let's take the word is wife. I decided to put wife into context. John's wife has changed her dog. Okay, moving on. Some more examples. Let's take the word left. Steve Jobs has left a legacy. Again, what is left? Left. Turn left. Yeah? Turn left. No, right? Left. Direction. But in this case, Steve Jobs has left a legacy. There you go. Another meaning. So if I take the word left in a dictionary, it would say left, left, direction. But if you look at it in this sentence, it actually means that he's gone. He left something. So he put something for everybody, which is Apple. Obviously, we're talking about Steve Jobs. So he left a legacy for Apple. Think different, which those of you that know Apple's legacy, it means think different. Okay. I'm just going to take a look at the chat. Let me have a look at the chat here. Take a look at the chat here with you guys. If you guys have any questions. No, Apple's legacy, it means this is different. Okay, Abdul. Okay, guys. We have some guys here. I'm sorry, everybody. I've got a lot of... So I'm going to answer some of your comments here. Hi, teacher Thiago, Aldo from Brazil. May I share the link? Yes, please share the link. Please, Aldo, feel free to share the link. I'm Abdul. I'm from PAC. Oh, hi, Abdul. Welcome. Abdul's here. Abdul Razik. Hey, I'm very well, Abdul. I watch every single live. Thank you. Thank you very much, Abdul. Thank you for joining. Very fan. I'm fine, bro. How about you? Very well. I really like this methodology. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Aldo, again. Thank you. Thank you. Same to you. He is the one who can teach perfect that the student can understand the way he teaches. Thank you very much, guys, for all your comments here. I'm just checking your comments here. I'll answer some of your comments. If you have any questions up to now, please drop your questions in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions as well. Yes, thank you. Yes, I am a musician. I am a musician, guys. Thank you. He speaks better than every single person. Thank you very much. I try to be as clear as I can so that everybody is able to understand language with clarity. That's my goal. My goal is to make students understand English with clarity. And so I think in order for students to understand English with clarity, I need to be very clear in my approach when I teach. Thank you. Great British accent. Thank you very much. Wish you could speak like you. Yes, Abdul, you will. You will, Abdul. It takes time, but you will eventually. You know, if you practice some of these things that I'm teaching you, you will be able to eventually improve your English to a fluent level. It will take time, dedication, but you will get there. You will get there. If you keep working hard, it will pay off. I have never seen a student that has dedicated himself and worked hard in his language education who has not progressed. I have seen lots of students improve. I had a student that he did a course with me and we were together for about 6 months And in 6 months, he was doing classes more or less every single day. And he was able to communicate at work. He worked in logistics at a port, and he was able to communicate very, very well in 6 months. So it is possible. Royal Group and also English Conversation Club. Thank you. No, I'm not in that group. Why? I'm the member of Tiago Materials group. He has also one of the group where he announced the live. Thank you. Yes, great, great, excellent. And the link to, okay, so you guys have a group here. Yeah, great thing. You guys are interacting with each other. Yes, Aldo, thank you. Aldo's a Brazilian student, and he's also a fantastic student, and I think he's doing some great progress as well. So well done, Aldo, for your investment and your time, and thank you for being such a valued student. And you know, me as a teacher, I really value my students so much, and I try to give the best to all my students who actually enjoy my teaching and enjoy the material that I share, because my main focus, like I said before, is to bring clarity. That is my main focus. That is my only objective, to bring clarity to English students. So thank you. Being a musician makes you a better fluency in language. I mean, because of rhythm. Yes, absolutely. I mean, rhythm, like we said in the beginning of this presentation, is one of the most important aspects of being able to flow with fluency in English. Okay, so I want to revert back. Thank you. You can carry on dropping your comments in the chat box. You can share this live with whoever you want in groups and other people. Please feel free. Okay, so the examples we're talking about here is vocabulary, and how vocabulary in content, in context, is more effective than just learning vocabulary, loose vocabulary. Okay, so the last example that I have to share with you is COVID has affected the world economy. So if we take the word world, right? I could use COVID has affected the world economy. So learning the word world by itself, it's not going to help me, but using the word world in a sentence in contextualized English is going to actually improve my understanding of spoken English. And that's one of the things that you should always take into account. Use English language in context all the time. Okay, moving on. So understanding, which is my final key point of today's presentation. So understanding. Why is it that you find so difficult in understanding native speakers speak English? Why do you guys find it so difficult? I'll let you guys answer in the chat. No problem, Abdul. I want you to answer in the chat. Why do you guys think that we have so much difficult in understanding, native speakers who speak so fast? We find it that they speak so fast. Why? You can drop your comments in the chat. Your answers. Why do we find it so difficult to understand native speakers of English? Number one, you shouldn't listen to every word. That's the first thing. Native speakers, they don't listen to every word. If you say, for example, yesterday I was involved in a workshop. Okay? Now, you don't have to listen to every single word. Yesterday I was involved in a workshop. No, you need to listen to the whole concept and only listen to the stressed words. What stressed words in that sentence do you feel are the most important? Which do you feel are the most important? Yesterday, I was involved in a workshop. Where is the stress? Where is the stress of this sentence? Yesterday, I was involved in a workshop. Where is the stress in this sentence? Where do you guys think is the stress in this sentence? Yesterday, I was involved in a workshop. And you can drop your Drop your answers in the chat. Yes, when they link words, when they link pronunciation. Good. Yesterday, I was involved in a workshop. So the stress in this particular sentence is in workshop. Workshop is the word that you should be listening together, because workshop links everything together. Yeah? And I'll show you this. I'll actually show you guys this. This is important. Let me share my screen with you guys again, and then we'll come back. It's not a problem. Okay, so let me see if you guys can see my board here. Okay, so look at this. Right, so if we take a look at this, let me see, you guys can see me, right? Okay, so if we look at this here, we look at yesterday, I was involved in a workshop. What is the most important stressed thing in this sentence? What is the most important stressed thing in this sentence? Workshop. Workshop is the most important because it connects all these ideas, all these words, yeah? And this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a workshop. So because I'm talking about a workshop, everything else that I have here links to the workshop. And so by me understanding the concept of the conversation, so if I am talking to you guys about a particular concept, and if I link everything to the concept of the conversation, which is the workshop, everything else will make sense. Does that make sense to you guys? Put it in the chat if that makes sense to you guys. Put it in the chat if you understand this concept. If this concept makes sense to you guys, put it in the chat, please. I want you guys to put it in the chat. Say in the chat, yes, this makes sense. Yesterday and good. Yesterday and workshop. Good, Manik. The other one, involved in a workshop. Excellent. Exactly that. So the thing is, when we are able to find these stressed words, so I'll just go back to my presentation here, guys. Let's bring this up. Okay, so once we find these stressed words, we listen to these stress words, we start to understand conversational English much more easy. And people that speak fast, we start to understand these concepts much more profoundly. Yeah. And one of the things to pay, attention to is the longer, the louder, and the high pitched. So if I say to you, I was involved in a workshop, can you see where I made the stress? Involved, workshop. I was involved in a workshop. Yeah, the louder, the high pitched. Yeah, so the longer. 13 students were available today. 27 students did not turn up for today's class. Can you see? 27 students did not turn up to today's class. So I've made a stress in that sound. And then if you learn these key things from the conversation, your level of speaking and understanding will improve so much that you just can't measure how much that will improve your English. Now, the main things to look for in these stresses are names, numbers, and negatives. So names. I was watching television yesterday. It was the BBC News. BBC News. BBC News. So I was watching television. I didn't understand. I was watching television. BBC News. Okay. BBC News. Something about BBC News. Okay, good. So you've already got the context. Now all you have to do is to improve your listening. Like, let's say you're watching a video, and this is very useful to every single one of you guys, right? This is everyone that's here. This is very important to you guys. Yeah. So I was watching the news, and it was on BBC News. Okay. So let's imagine I did not get I was watching. I just got BBC News. Boom. So I'll go back to that recording, or go back to that video, go back to that film, and watch that again to try and link the idea together. This is powerful, right? I'm giving you guys content here that is on paid courses. Even on paid courses, they don't teach you some of the things that I'm actually giving you guys here for free. Yeah, some of the stuff that I'm teaching you here in this class, people charge, you know, hundreds of pounds just to give you this information. So the second thing is numbers. Now, he was available for the interview on the 25th of November. I was available on the 25th of November. I got 25th of November. Excellent. Now you go back again and you listen to the sounds to get to 25th of November. I was available. He was available. Sound, remember we talked about sound in the beginning of this class? So he was available for the interview on the 25th of November. So then you start to connect sentences together. And finally, negatives, another important aspect to look for. So negatives, don't do this. He was actually driving and he was drinking. Don't do this if you are driving. Do not drink and drive, you know. So then those are the negatives that also make an emphasis in the sentences. Very important. Okay. Now, some more examples. Listening, I have there's a website called esl-lab.com, and I recommend this website to everyone. esl-lab.com. I recommend this website to everyone because they have like little stories, and it's a free website. They have lots of resources on there. You can go on there and they have conversations between natives. So they have like two people having a conversation, and you can listen to these stories for free and practice your listening. And it's free, and it's very resourceful because it's not just, you know, it's not just any type of language. It's specifically conversation, little stories for English students. So I highly recommend you guys check out this website, esl-lab.com, and I will put that in the description of this video once this video is published. Again, actionable sounds. Yeah, another thing important. What are actionable sounds? Actionable sounds are sounds that we hear within a sentence, just as I explained, and we are able to define these sounds in the sentence. So I'm able to connect gonna do this, gonna do this, going to do this, gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. So it's an actionable sound. And practicing conversation. Practice conversation. So mirror yourself. You know, where are you from? You see, you know, maybe you put a YouTube video saying, you know, people talking, what's your name? My name is John. Where are you from? I'm from Italy. What do you do? I am an engineer. What have you been doing for the last week? Well, for the last week, I've been studying English and I've been preparing for an exam, which I will be taking at the end of the month. Oh, excellent. What is your hobby in life? Well, I love to play sports. I love to play football. I am also a good tennis player. I've been practicing. So you see, so you get a video of someone asking questions and you answer these questions. So you practice conversation that way. So you listen to the question and you reply to the question. Oh, teacher, how do I know if I am doing well or not? You will know. There's a feeling inside. You know whether it's right or not. You know what people sound like and you know what you should sound like. And my tip for you is what I said to Aldo here in our class. Be clear. Clarity. If you're clear and constructive, then yes, you are doing well. If you're not clear, then you need to improve. Go back and repeat again, study again, go back to the same material again. Okay, Clifton Smith, welcome, my friend. I'm just gonna check out some of your comments here. You teach people because you love teaching them instead of earning money. That's why you're teaching us. Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I teach these classes, these English classes for fun. See, I do this for fun. I don't do this for any money. I don't get paid to teach these classes. So I do this for fun because I like helping people. And I think I'm an example of someone that actually came from nowhere and was able to learn the language. So I think if I learned the language, anyone can learn the language. And if I can give you guys as much value as I can, you know, whether it's for free or paid or whatever, I will carry on doing it. You know, if I'm helping people and I'm touching lives, and I am, my objective and one of my aims with these courses is to provide you guys with some value. And I hope you take some value from this class today as well. And not just bring you value, but bring you something that you're able to take away with you and actually say, yes, I actually learned something today, rather than these courses that they sell you, core English courses. And there's so much on the internet and everywhere. And you end up never learning anything. I'm actually teaching you something practical that you can implement straight away in your speaking skills. So that's what I'm about. Okay, moving on. So solutions to some of the issues that we covered today. So we looked at 4 different key issues. We looked at rhythm, people that speak too fast, yeah? Solutions. Rhythm, people that speak too fast, vocabulary, and not understanding what they are saying. So number 1, for rhythm, I would urge you to study articulations, just as we did at the beginning of the class. So learning to articulate different words like the daga 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 daga. I'm going to school to study English because I love it. I'm going to study, I'm going to study, I'm going to study. Daga daga da, daga daga da, daga daga da. I'm going to study, I'm going to study, I'm going, you know, and then you can use different articulations to change different concepts and create new sentences as well. Okay. Listen to sounds. So don't listen to loose words. He is a doctor. No, he's a doctor. Listen to the sound. He's a doctor. It's like daga daga, daga daga, not just da daga daga. You can study it like daga daga da, but do daga da. Listen to the sound. Hey man, what are you up to? Not, hey man, what are you up to? Hey man, what are you up to? It's more natural. It's real life situations. Yeah. Watching a video, subtitles, take the subtitles out, watch it again. Try to understand the film. Yeah. Use words in context. Don't look for loose words, but look for words in context. And if you learn a word, take that word and put it into context. That will improve your level of English dramatically. And finally, stress sounds. So, you know, look at the stress sounds. What's the guy saying? Is he telling me that he is going to be working in a new office? A new office. So look what the stress sounds are. Because native speakers, they don't actually look at word for word. They look at the stress sound so that they're able to grasp the main idea of what the person is talking about. Okay, I'm going to answer some of your questions. Tiago, would you say shadowing practice is one of the main ways to improve our conversation? Yes, shadowing is very powerful, Aldo. Very powerful. I use a lot of shadowing with my Rhythm of Fluency course, which I offer. And students have to it's kind of like imitation. So you imitate what other people say, but you shadow them first. And the way to study shadowing is to start with slow sentences. So listen to songs. Songs are very powerful. So, you know, you listen to, for example, John Lennon. Imagine all the people. So I'm listening to John Lennon. So he's singing, imagine all the people. Na, 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 na. Yeah, and I'm repeating with him. So that is a very powerful way of developing a technique. Shadowing is very powerful and it really helps you. It really helps. I definitely recommend shadowing. My computer's gone blank again for the 5th time. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we just have one more slide. Do we have any questions? Do you guys have any questions for me? Is there anything you want to ask me? Please feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Please feel free to drop your questions in the chat. If you have any questions, you can actually drop them on the chat on YouTube chat. You can also send me your questions on Telegram and also through email. If you want to email me your questions, you can also email them at tiagomateria@gmail.com. Okay, I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions that you may have. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. I hope everybody has enjoyed this presentation. And thank you so much for joining our second live session of 2021. For more information, please also visit our Telegram group, which is t.me/rhythm of fluency. And you'll be able to find lots of information on there where I send updates, videos, and all sorts of materials and stuff for my active students who are on there. I have some material that you can buy. I have a course for Brazilians that you can go to tiagomateria.com and you'll be able to find my courses. I have a course for Brazilians and I have a course for everyone, which is the Rhythm of Fluency. So I have the Rhythm of Fluency, which is English with music. And I also have the Beginner English in 60 Minutes, which is a course designed for Brazilian students. And you can find information on my website at tiagomateria.com. I'll actually put that in the chat for you guys, okay? Let me put that in tiagomateria.com. Okay, so that's my website there, tiagomateria.com. I'm also live on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Tiago_Materia. So you can find me on Instagram as Tiago_Materia. I actually put posts and tips every day on Instagram. So every day I put a new video on Instagram, giving you a tip, some of them in Portuguese, some of them in English. You can also find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter at Tiago Materia, and you can also find me on Facebook at Do You Speak English Tiago Materia, which is a group that I have on Facebook. So I'm all across. If you search me up, Tiago Materia, you'll be able to find most of my stuff. Also, if you type in the Rhythm of Fluency, you will find that my course is right up there as well. And I have a great discount at the moment for people who are interested in joining the Rhythm of Fluency. It's a subscription course, so it's £9.99 at the moment. And you join anytime, you can cancel anytime, join at any time. You can test the course out for 24 hours. So you can join the course now, and if for any reason you find it that it's not for you, you can just cancel within 24 hours and you won't be charged anything. If you do, however, want to join, it's on a $9.99 a month subscription base, and you can cancel anytime as well. So if you find that you want to only use it for a month, then that's perfectly fine. You can join the program and then just stop after a month if you're not happy with the program. You get access to all the videos that are out there, the study videos. It's an intense course. It's really good, really good. I will be back again next Friday. So I'll be back next Friday with our third live lesson. So I'm doing these live weekly classes every week here on YouTube. I'm doing one of these lessons a week here on YouTube. I'm also live on Hallo twice. Those of you that know Hallo app, I'm on there twice a week now on Tuesdays and Thursdays with a 50-minute workout. So I have to update my page, in fact, up there, but it's going to be the 50-minute workout Tuesdays and Thursdays on the Hallo app. Those of you that don't know, I also will start to offer private classes on the Hallo app as well eventually. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Aldo. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, Cliff. Thank you, Jess, Mark. Thank you, everyone that's joining me as well from my other pages here, not just on YouTube, but those of you that are watching me from other channels. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys again soon. Stay blessed. Peace. One love from the man here, and I hope you found some value here in this class today. Bye, everyone. Take care now. Bye-bye. Just need to close this off. Yeah, excellent stuff, man. Yeah, it was a great